Morning, Jifara, Ethan, Chloe. Hi, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning,
How are
Swan.
you?
Yeah, good.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. Sorry, it's gonna cut the music. And oh, didn't like the video stuff. There we go.
Morning, Adam.
Morning.
Good morning.
Okay, let me see. Independent. No. Okay, it's 10:59. Just one more minute, and we can start. We have Chloe. We have Ethan here.
Hello, Flora. Hello, everyone.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, chị Hoa.
Hi, Flora. Hi, Ethan. I'm good, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for joining with us.
Good to see you join us.
Hi, Jifara. Missing you.
Yeah. Hi, son. Nice to see you today. Yeah, it's very nice.
Where's your camera? I want to see your rose garden.
Yes.
Oh, you're outside.
Show us.
Did you see my camera?
Yeah,
Yes,
I can see it now, but I don't see the rose garden.
Oh, where is my? I didn't see my screen, so I only see you. So I don't know how to turn out. Yes. Did you see it?
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Wow. I'm jealous.
I like
Very nice.
city. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Now we turn again.
Okay, cool. It's 11:01. I think we should start. We have Chloe and Cherry here. Thank you, everyone, for joining the event on a Sunday. It's such a beautiful day outside. A little bit hot, but we hope the weather stays the same.
Yep.
If anybody new to this event, I'd like to say thank you again to take your time and joining with us. As you know, the event started with the branding of open mic, and everybody thinks that we trying to host a karaoke sessions. So we rebrand the session into SpeakUp Club. So the purpose of the event is to help a HNV member comes in, present any topic they want, feel confident in the material that they're presenting, and also connecting with other members within the event. So then everybody have a chance to talk, to discuss about what they want to discuss, the topic and everything. And I don't know if anybody an introvert. I'm an introvert, so I think by doing the event is helping myself and helping others as well to connect. And at the same time, we in Canada, we speak 2 languages. And I think English is the most challenging language that we try to convey the message, and sometimes try to, what's the word that I have to use? Blend in pretty much as another culture, another language to speak, another culture to understand, and everything else. So with all of that, hopefully everybody enjoyed the session today. We call it Speak Up because yes, we do need to speak up often. So the next things I want to talk about is the agenda, not to take too much of you guys' time. So the introductions would be 10 minutes. I'll talk a little bit about the events. There will be 2 presenters today, Chloe and Cherry. Thank you, guys. Chloe will present first. Everybody will have roughly around 10 minutes to present your topic. After each presentation, we'll pause a little bit, see if you guys want, feedback. What do you want to get out of this presentation, and any other feedback that you would like us to provide. We have Ethan and Swan. Their experience in Toastmaster. The way Toastmaster event was hosted, it is relatively the same like the one that we're doing today. Hi, San. Just woke up. And hopefully Ethan and Swan will help us with the grammar, the word count, like the last time that we discussed. We also have Duc, but he's a little bit late today. I'll talk about all of the facilitator in the next slides. So after the presentation, we'll have feedback sessions, like I said, a little bit of networking and Q&A after that. And again, you know, there's certain rules with the event to make sure that everybody understand what the event is. The event is recorded. So again, I see there's one participant that don't want their session to be recorded. So let me know after if you are that person. You can send me an email and let me know. You must have fun is the first rule, because, you know, presentation and public speaking, I think it's just such a fun thing to do, but we often, you know, afraid for some weird reason, myself included. Be yourself, don't worry. You know, we all amateur here. We're not professional presenter. We're not, you know, public speaking figure. So that's why we're here in practice. Respect each other's. Any comments, anything, we provide feedback and comment with respect, and, you know, honesty and transparency is another 2 rules as well. And hope you guys enjoy the event as much as we do the past few months. And the facilitator. So we start with Duc, myself, and Adam. I don't know if Adam's here. He's not showing himself. Probably he's running somewhere. And then we have Swan and Ethan also voluntarily to be co-hosts with the event. Again, like I said at the beginning, they experience with Toastmaster, which is a constructive public speaking group, and they're provided a lot of feedback and in terms of how we can improve the event. And thank you guys for taking your time on a Sunday. And with all further ado, I would introduce you, Chloe. I will be the first presenter. Chloe will talk a little bit about herself and her presentation today. I hand over to you, Chloe.
Oh, thank you so much. And good morning, you all. And I want to introduce a little bit about myself. My real name is Nguyen, but you all can call me Chloe. And I will tell you guys about myself more during my speech, so stay tuned. And before I begin my speech today, I would like to send my sincere appreciation to Ms. Flora Nguyen and all of the members of the Hội Nghị Việt SpeakUp Club for having me today. It's really a special day for me today. It's for being here and just sharing my story, especially on a Sunday morning. It's completely unusual to me. And so my topic today is identity crisis. Who am I? And so here goes. I don't know if anyone here, like, you know, experienced the same thing as I am during your 20s, but I have been in this situation, which I call identity crisis, for quite a while. So identity crisis to me is a period of uncertainty and confusion in which a person sense of identity becomes insecure, typically due to a change in someone expected aims or role in their society. And to me, while experiencing the identity crisis, I question my sense of self a lot. So I came into Toronto to study accounting in Joshua College from 2017. I chose accounting because at that time, I completely have no idea about what I want to do, who I want to be in the future, what do I passionate about. I just went with, like, you know, whatever my mom suggests me at the time, because with everybody in, at least in Hanoi, like everybody think that everywhere needs an accountant. It's easy to find a job. Yeah. So So in the first 2 years in Canada, my life was always around school, work, and because I did not pay my tuition, so yeah, I better be a good student, right? Because everybody believed that it's going to help me a lot later when I get a professional job, like, because they really care about your marks, kind of. And also I was so deeply into the concept that has been built throughout my whole education I have in Vietnam, which is you have to be a perfect student with a perfect academic performance, with admiration from your peers, and with recognition from your professor, and like, you know, be some kind of celeb that everybody, like especially the recruiter, is gonna see you as something very valuable when you came into the real life. And I did not realize that, like, you know, early enough, that I was living like a robot. Accounting to me is not bad at all. It's okay, like, but little by little there is something inside of me telling me that I don't want to be, like, you know, sitting in an office doing accounting my whole life. And I had experienced 2 internship with 2 different companies, and I had no problem doing what they want me to do. But I always have questions that nobody would like to answer, like, why do we keep printing papers and then read it for 5 minutes and then throw it into the shredding machine? It's so wasting. And then, like, why do we have such complicated and unnecessary procedure? And who designed this Excel spreadsheet? It is so confused. Yeah. And I feel like even I feel there's a lot of limits about what I want to do, and even in a circumstance that it, like, my ideas might be good, it is still accounting. Like, there is still procedure that you have to follow because it has been there since forever. Yep. And later on, I realized that I have an interest in arts. Like, I like fashion. I like going out to different districts, different places to see how people dress, how uh, being in different places to see how they talk, how they walk, even how they smell. And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not a creep, but by that I mean, how can a person smell so sophisticated? And, like, what perfume did they use? How can smell stay inside our memory for so long? How could clothes and smell can have such a stranger, like, you know, makes such an unforgettable, like, memories inside your mind? And how could they have that charisma vibe when they talk? It is so fascinating. and and then, even when I have not know for sure until now, like 100% sure, like, what am I passionate about? But there's one thing I know for sure is not accounting. Um, and I used to run away from reality to be all over the places. In the first few years in Canada, I spend money like crazy. I party hard, yes, and in a nutshell, like, I doing everything except for focusing on studying in order to graduate and find a decent job. This is the phase that I call my Starbucks phase, where I was totally in crisis why I should be spend time building my identity capital. So next up is, so what is identity capital? So is to me is our collection of personal asset, or the repertoire of individual resources that we assemble over time. Is the investment that we made in ourselves, the things we do well enough, long enough, that they become a part of us. And for some of those investment are going to be on your resume, like your diplomas, your degrees, what clubs that you go to. And others could be more personal, like how we speak, where we're from, how we talk, and how we solve the problems. And in a nutshell, is how we build ourselves bit by bit over time. Um, in such metaphor, it could also be the currency we use to purchase jobs, relationship, and other things that we wanted in life. So a lot of people tell me like, okay, so let's say you don't know that you like anything, right? So the best approach is to try everything that you could. So in other words, like just go into the crisis and maybe building your capital later. But I know for sure that like of course working at Starbucks is something like it's gonna giving me the freedom that I don't have while doing an accountant, for example. I do not have to like follow a strict procedure, and I kind of have that kind of freedom. But the longer I'm like, you know, I'm letting myself go into that circle, so when I come back into the reality, it's gonna hit me harder, like because those years and experience in Starbucks will not help me find a job in an accountant, and I will be on the verge of becoming irrelevant for the society, and which means I could be unhappy and also underemployment. And to me, underemployment is something worse than unemployment. Unemployment is like when you're in an unemployment, you're gonna be like, okay, I just have to go out and find a job, like sooner or later. But when you are underemployment, that means you have to work for a job that you cannot use your full potential to work in it. And so by that, you know that more crisis than building capital is not good. But in contrast, all capital and no crisis is a problem too. That also means that all work and no exploration. So I think like identity crisis and building identity capital should go together. So I should take time. I should take time to explore and also have the nerve to make commitments along the way. By that, I can construct stronger identity, higher my self-esteem, and at the same time being preserving and realistic. Because like you cannot like, you know, sustain whatever like you call a passion if you're hungry, for example, because you still have bill to pay at the end of the day. And so who am I? So right now, I'm a recent grad. And if you ask me like in terms of where am I in my career, I will be honest to you, like I'm still professionally insecure. But I'm gonna give myself a little bit of credit there. Like I'm a hard worker. I'm an excellent communicator, and I'm confident. I'm eager to learn, and I am not afraid of whatever is waiting for me ahead. And I know that I just need to get out there, find an interview, and I believe that my personality will take it from there. And if somebody asks me like for like, you know, if some peers of mine come to me and ask me what is my best like, you know, advice for them, I would say the only way to figure out what to do is not to do everything, is to do something. It's just to do something first. And true and authentic identity should not be rushed into. And for some people, it could be explore the world without the real risk of obligation or risk. But for some people, it could be they like, you know, they could be like, you know, stop everything they are doing and starting to get into college to actually build something into their life. And regardless of what I have recognized about myself, I know that I still have a long way to go. And by sharing my story, I want people that have been in the same situation to know that you guys are not alone. And I know it seemed like, you know, your life is getting nowhere. But as I'm telling myself every single day when I wake up, it's just like, as long as I'm still breathing, as long as I'm still healthy, and I still dreams, and I'm willing to work hard, there was still a chance to turn it around. And I remind myself every day that always be always be kind to whoever you meet in life, and appreciate even the smallest things in your life. I don't know if anyone here have ever watched the movie called Soul from Pixar, Disney? Anyone? Oh yeah, that is a very good one. Wow. And before I wrap up my speech, I would like to share about my favorite quote of Joe, a character in that movie. He said, for him, music is all I think about. From the moment I wake up in the morning to the moment that I fall asleep at night. And I have a question for you guys. What is that inspire you to wake up every morning and follows you into your dreams when you fall asleep at night? And if you have not yet have an answer for that, I dare you to go out and find it. Thank you.
Wow, I'm impressed. And I do watch Soul. That movie is amazing. And I think that questions from the movie, it started with, what's his life purpose? And I myself can't never answer that in my 20s, because, we were struggling in the 20s so much to find who we are. And there's a lot, thank you for an excellent presentation and, personal story. How did it feel?
Oh, I was so nervous. Like, I woke up early in the morning and my heart keep bumping, like, because I don't know how it's going to be. But during the speech, I feel like this is like, I feel like I'm on the way to finding who I am, just speaking it out loud. And it's just like, and like, seeing you guys, like, even just through the screen, but I see how focused you guys, like, listening to me, like, giving me more courage, like, to speak more. So thank you so much.
No problem. That's what we're here for. And I enjoyed the presentation so much, and I believe everybody else did as well. And your personal story is very touching. And I think I said we, but I am dealing with the same struggle. And respond to what you're asking us. In the morning when life is so busy, I just try to get up, get to work, make sure that bills are paid, kids are being fed. And things are in place, but I never actually get up and ask myself why I wake up today. It's never dawned on me. I don't know about you guys. How about you, Ethan?
I have to say that, like, I really like the presentation because you not only presented like one phase of crisis, but you presented the whole like cycle of crisis, and it's like a spinal. So yes, so you start with starting picking up on something, you realize that you didn't like it, and then you move on to starting to try out like different things in life so that you can find what is your true passion. And then along the way you kind of pick on a lot of like philosophies for yourself, and starting to realize the deeper level of living and enjoying your life. So I really like it in the way that everybody can really relate to a phase of crisis that they've been through. Personally, myself, I have to say that I went through mostly all of it, and right now I'm at the point that I used to think that, okay, I have to go through everything, and so that I will be in the phase that I will not have any crisis, and I will just being secured like professionally, financially, mentally, physically, and everything. But then I start to realize that not having that crisis, not having that pressure, make my life being bored and dumb, right? Like there's no push, there's no challenge. And that is one of the reasons why I decided to move from Winnipeg to Ontario, because I needed that change. I needed to put myself back to that crisis and grow myself professionally and personally as well. So I can really, really relate to your story. You are such an amazing presenter, a natural presenter. The way that you told me that you are nervous, I did not see any of the nervousness in the way that you speak. You speak loud, clear. You get your message across like perfectly. like that you don't have any future, and you like, like those kind of thing. So and you smile a lot, and you have a beautiful smile, which like I love to look at when you do your speech. So I think, you good you know exactly where you are in your um in your life, in your journey of like accomplishing goals in your life. So I can see that you will be a successful person in Canada for sure. And if we can get you in our team, our club, and being a regular member, inspire people just like the way that you did today, it would be much appreciated. And yeah, join us next time. Thank you so much for your presentation today. I really like it.
Thank you so much, Ethan.
Does anybody want to have a comment on the call? Feel free to unmute and comment. Come on, guys.
So for me, her performance was so amazing because like most of the company Canada.
We can't hear you saying anything. You're cutting off.
Oh, like really small or
I think it's the airport.
yeah.
The airport.
Oh, I see. One second.
So while I'm fixing that, there's one more thing that I want to mention as well, Chloe. You're an excellent communicator, you were right. And by the way that you described your journey, I think persistent will be another describer to your personality and everything you went through. Hi, Duck. Glad you make it. He's one of our facilitator. Did you fix your sound?
I think I'm gonna turn it off my airport though. So for me, her present was so good because most of us that come to Canada for a reason, and most of it in chaos when we come here to be basically for the most of people that I've talked to. So we have a reason, or we have like something that we want to try, or something we uncertain about myself. That's why her topic relates to lots of people, and the way that she transparent the content to everybody was so fluent. I don't know, like it's just so smooth. But for me, some part of the presentation has a little bit, like for me, when she's talking about she uncertain about something and she want to try something new, but in the end that she come to a conclusion that she had bills to pay. For me, it's just like a barrier, like an excuse for you to keep continuing doing the things that you not love, not not the thing that's motivate you to wake up every day to do. It was just kind of conservative for me. When I hear it, I just think, oh, you're still thinking about making excuses for doing the thing that you love. If you think that not suit you, you try harder. You can eat like instant noodle for days, just be in doing the thing that you happy. Don't think about worrying too much about paying the bill, because it's gonna be work out eventually in the end. I don't know like how that works for you guy, but for me, when I my background was finance and banking in Vietnam. I has good like mathematics skills and logical critical thinking skill, but I have OCD. That's some kind of pushing me back of doing some kind of related to math and problem whatever it is. So I don't think that career gonna suit me. That's why I'm choosing another career when I come to Canada, which is logistic. And it for me right now is not really make sense for the future. I haven't seen my future in the next 5 or 10 years, but at least I'm enjoy what I'm doing right now. And it doesn't easy for me, and I think that it's not gonna easy for everybody that picking something that is completely different that you pursue like 4 years study in Vietnam and you come here and you work in. It's not easy, and you have to do it. Like you said, you have to do it anyway. You have to do it. So for me, my advice for you, just trying to have the guts to do the thing that you love. That's it. Don't make any more excuses. Don't think about the bills. Don't think about what's going to be happen next if you trying to do like accountants or whatever. Some part of accountant that can be amazing too. Like I have friends that do finance. He has CPA. He do about risk, about financial or whatever it is, but he's enjoying doing that. And it's not just about the procedure that you said repeatedly. So you can think about that way. If you good enough and your performance is good enough, you can change the way your company works. So you can, if your work is good, you can, I think this one is good, and we can cut off this process to get it more like effectively or whatever it is. You can go suggestion to your company. So that procedure is for all of the accountant, but the company you work for is your company. It's not some kind of like everybody has to be follow the exactly same thing. That's why we always think about the efficiency when we go to work. We find a way to make the work more easier. So if you think about that, you can be an accountant with your creative mind. It doesn't have to be something to be step 1, 2, 3, and 4. So just my thought. Okay.
Thank you so much, San. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thank you for the feedback.
I really like that, but I also like I don't disagree with you, but I want to speak to Chloe because I think the way that she put it is it's not about giving herself an excuse about having a pay to bill that prevent her from doing what she like. But I think that a part of like growing up and being mature too, that you start to have more responsibilities on your shoulders, that it's like a barrier, it's like a block on your way when you're doing your hustle, when you're doing your sprint, right? So it's just something that we always have to consider. And I know a lot of people here as well, right? So we have kids, we have bills, we have family, we have houses. I am single. It's easy for me. If I want to move, the next day I can move, right? But a lot of people here, they have their husband has a job, they have their kids have school, they have bills to pay, a lot of things that they can just, okay, I am moving tomorrow. So I can really relate to that part too. And and I guess like that a part of the thing about growing up and finding your own identity too, right? What you like to do for yourself and what is best for your family and your own surroundings, like circle too. So yeah, I like both like San and Chloe opinion about identify yourself and going through the crisis. Yeah, very different part of fields, and I really like it. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you, everyone. So I would wait for the last portions of the event so we can have some time for Cherry to present her presentation. And I love everybody's feedback, but hold on to your thoughts and we can discuss more at the end of a Cherry presentation. So the floor is yours, Cherry. Go ahead. A fresh start.
Thank you. Thank you, Nguyen SpeakUp Club, for having me today. And thank you, Chloe, for starting off, giving us a very great start. It was amazing. You go very smoothly. I don't see any nervousness at all. Same as Nathan's comments. That was great, very confident and very inspiring. So here's my little story. As you guys can see, my name is Cherry, but also back in Vietnam, I was known as Tu Ha. So it's sort of like a little different there already. So back in Vietnam, when I was known as Tu Ha, I was this little Hanoi girl, very soft, very well behaved, with all the etiquette, that I went to juvenile high school. So there are some sort of like strict rules that we have to follow. There's some sort of like expectation how students have to behave. So when I went to Canada, I feel like I wanted some sort of like a new start, probably a new name. So I just went with Cherry. And also I think an English name would be easier for everyone to memorize my name and probably better to communicate. So here is a new chapter of Cherry Nguyen. So for my life, I would say I have my privilege to choose the profession that I like, which is hospitality and tourism. The thing is, have a great passion for this industry. I love to connect with people and love to make customer service task, and just like human interaction that makes me happy, that keeps me going in life. But the thing is, hospitality and tourism isn't something that like the society really, you know, look up to and have like a huge respect to. And especially I came from juvenile high school, everyone would expect me to do something a little bit louder, something a little bit, I don't know, something more difficult, something more critical, more like more creative, but I still chose to go for hospitality and tourism, and luckily my parents support this profession. So yeah, here I am right now, just graduate from George Brown College of my 4-year degree in hospitality. Yeah, excited for the next chapter. So for my life, I would say at first, I was so excited to be alone. Like back in Vietnam, I really enjoy having my own life, going when out with my friends, doing this project, that project, you know, like I barely spend time with my parents. So when I know that I can move to Canada, starting my new life, like making all the decisions by myself, I was so excited. It was like you know, a kid in a candy shop, like for real. And then slowly I started to notice that I like so many of like life skills, you know, like just survival skills like cooking. I was a foodie, but I'm not a very great cook, so I need to work on that. You know, just taking care of my daily life, making my own decisions, manage my time, go to school, go to work, and like also my social life. It sounds like a very, you know, daily and basic stuff, but it actually, you know, like started to put on the weight on my shoulders sometimes. And I noticed that I'm not that, you know, well-rounded girl in Vietnam anymore. I lack some skills, I lack some experience. I have to start over again with my new circle of friends and circle of career professions. So I need to step out of my comfort zone. I need to realize that I need to make change. I need to go out there, you know, just building something for myself. And I think one of the important things that that during my college life that really helps me, which is a mentorship. It's not only a mentorship from my college instructor and professor, but also from the industry professionals and also from my friend. You know, as long as they're wise, as long as they are like listen to your stories and you know, understand you and can give you some valuable feedback, that means a lot. So I do appreciate that time mentorship. I think it was very important. And also just like not even like mentorship, just like talking to your friend, like talking to your surrounding people, like get to know how they're doing, get to know their stories, and like from that you can also learn how they struggle in life, how they conquer, and how they, you know, succeed in their career. And I do appreciate that a lot. So yes, I think that's sort of like wrapping up my story today. It wasn't that like thought-provoking at all. It wasn't like a lot of like struggling steps as Chloe's stories, but I hope to get to know everyone and everyone can get to know me as a Cherry in Toronto. All right, thank you so much, and I open the space for questions now. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. It's very good presentation, and you know, I think when you're comparing the presentation, I think it's not necessary that we try to compare to other presenter. I think that you just hit the spot that we want this event to be as comfortable as possible, that people can speak up, tell us your story, and you know, we can relate all to your story because we've been there, done that. It doesn't mean I've been here more than you, then I have more experience. It doesn't work that way. I think today and listen to your story, it's so different than the years that I've tried to come to Canada and the experience that I have. And I appreciate that, you guys step forward and tell the story around how you survive here and the struggle, and, the insecurity and everything. And that's, I think, one of the rules as well, honesty and transparency, right? So thank you for the presentations. I hope the pandemic wasn't too hard on, your graduation and, finding a job. And I love that you follow your passion, not whatever that school that you went to expect it to be. You know what I mean? We love certain thing and something that take us and call it passions, or Adam hate that word, but follow your heart, right? Does anybody have any comment or questions for Cherry? Go ahead, Chloe.
Oh, hi, Cherry. It's such a pleasure to meet you, and such a surprise, like because we both from Hanoi. So it's like and to be honest, like I just met you through this online session, but your story, like I admire you so much because I can see your confidence. You are so confident, so independent, like, to be honest, and I just love your vibe. Like, seriously, you have the vibe that of the modern girl. Yeah. And then yeah, it would be great if I can see you for like a coffee in real life, if you have time.
Sure, hit me up,
Yes.
and thank you so much for your comment. Thank you so much, and just like type me a message. Yeah, we will be chatting for a coffee. Sure.
Yes. Thank you, Cherry.
Yeah, we can all connect through Facebook, and also if anybody wants, we can also connect to LinkedIn network as well. It's a network of professionals, and we never know, right? There's opportunity we'll come across. And Swan, would you like to make a comment or questions to Cherry or Chloe?
Yeah, so thank you, Flora. So thank you, Cherry and Chloe, for your presentation. That's a wonderful. So may I add to all the audience today, how did you feel about our beautiful presenter? Are they a wonderful and awesome presenter? So please put your hands together and give a big applause to them.
Yay!
Congratulations and welcome to Hội Nguyen Việt SpeakUp Club. We are very happy to see you today for sharing your story. I really like and admire you guys because as I didn't have that, the leadership mindset, the confidence. So all of things I wish that I had, but it's okay. I have it now because now I know who I am, and a little bit late, but that's still good, right? So that's so awesome, Chloe and Cherry, because I see that living in a foreign country, and you have been into many crises and challenges. So, but that's the way that it builds up your inner strength. It's help you the way to understand more about who you are and what you will be. So that's the really, the great asset in your future. I wish you all best of luck and hope, because I also experienced, like, as a recent grad, in a job hunting, there are a lot of challenge in Canada, and especially during this time. But believe in yourself, believe it, just keep going, just doing and do everything to, and the most important thing, take good care of yourself. Okay. And for the next bit, I think the one thing that you may want to try or to challenge yourself, that it keep more eye contact when you do the presentation. And also the way that you can use your hand gesture, because that will help you, to build more confidence. Is also you, because like when we do the presentations, open your hand, like use your gesture. So that's the way they can help you to convey your message to your audience. So that's all from you. Thank you so much for being in here today. Thank you, Flora. Over to you.
Thank you. Adam, do you have any comment today? You've been quiet.
Yeah, a little quiet. No, great presentation. What are your hobbies? Either one of you, just out of curiosity. And I say that because, maybe over here, Canada, the US, whatever, everybody is so career driven, and they let their self-worth you know, their career defines who they are. And usually those people I find are very boring people because that's all they have.
Mhm.
You know, that's the first question when you meet somebody. Oh, what do you do? Why? Why is that always the first question? Why is that always so important? You know, it's great to have a job you like. Very few of us actually do have a job we like because it's usually just getting up to go to work and pay the bills, which that's life. You're always going to have bills. You know, even if you're a gabillionaire, you're always going to have some kind of bill to pay. But to be defined by what you do, I think is you know, whatever. But, you know, it's so important to have hobbies and interests and other things other than work. And, you know, so that's why I kind of ask, you know, it's like, yeah, having a career or trying to have something that pays the bills that you actually enjoy, that's great. But don't let that define who you are. You know, there's so much more to life than just being a slave to the machine. And you know, maybe it's different. You know, you're living up to, or you're trying to live up to your parents' expectations, but at a time you have to move out of your parents' expectations because that's your life, that's not their life. They you know, if they're truly happy for what you're doing, then that's great. You know, to Cherry's example, you know, her parents were, you know, supportive. I'm not saying Chloe's yours weren't or aren't. I'm just saying, you know, and it's funny because the tourism and hospitality business, it's a rough business. And yet so many people depend on that business. You know, all of these people, they want to either hotels, restaurants, you know, you tell somebody, you know, who makes fun of being a server, you know what, you try going and being a server. You see what it's like. And those people, they'll have such a hard time doing that job. They think it's so easy, but it's like, yeah, it's not. So, you know, great presentations, and, you know, don't let your job define you. That's all.
Thank you. Chloe,
Thank you.
I'll start to answer the questions first. So Adam, actually my habits ties really closely to my passion, hospitality and tourism. I'm a foodie. I really love to take pictures of food, and also I love to travel. I actually just went back from a trip to Montreal, and probably in the next 2 weeks, I'll be in Vancouver visiting my friend. So yeah, this is like, I would say, I'm trying to take advantage of this time. I haven't got my full-time job yet, so I'm trying to, you know, explore the country, take time to travel, visiting my friends as much as I could. So yeah, so probably last week Montreal, probably next week Ottawa, and probably next 2 weeks will be Vancouver.
And I bet you're on Instagram as well, right?
Pardon me?
I bet you're on Instagram as well, right?
Yes, I'm on Instagram, and yes, a lot of my trips are up there. My stories of my trips, the pictures of take when I have food. That's a big thing for me, and I also just like to do, you know, like hang out with friends. You know, not just like hanging, but like, you know, connecting people. I think that's really a great, a big part of my life. I used to be very reserved, and to, you know, share my stories and how my honest opinions or like status as. But right now, come to Canada, starting a new chapter of my life, you know, turn over a new leaf. I'm much more comfortable to just talking to people, listen to them with open heart, and sharing my stories as well.
That's awesome. Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Chloe.
Oh, thank you, Cherry. I feel like we have something in common. I'm a big foodie too. So like I haven't got my job yet. So right now I'm just like call up my friends whenever I have a time, and we're gonna hang out, try everything that we haven't tried. And yeah, it's my hobby too. Like just go out and have good food, listening to my friend's story of new people, like new. And recently I've been forcing not like forcing, but like try to be more open, like, you know, hanging around the friends that you haven't like spent much time, and listening to their life story. But I have to say, if I have a lot of hobbies, but if I have to choose one, it's gonna be singing. Singing is a best part of my life. I cannot live without music. Recently I'm playing guitar. I'm still practicing, and and last week I just come out of my comfort zone to and I contact one of the friend on the Vietnamese association, and he helped me record my first song. So that made me feel so proud, and yeah.
That's awesome. Nice.
Thank you, Adam.
Can you sing a little bit for us?
No, don't put her on the spot.
Why not?
Sure. I will sing a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so I just need a lyric. Just give me a moment.
You know,
Okay.
like people thought we are like a karaoke club. So I think it is right now.
So I'm gonna sing a little bit from one of the songs that I listen to a lot and remind me of Hanoi a lot. Is a Vietnamese song. Is mùa thu cho em. Yeah. So just excuse my singing. It might be bad. Yeah. Em có nghe mùa thu mưa răng lá đổ, em có nghe nai vàng hát khúc yêu đương, và em có nghe khi mùa thu tới mang ái ân mang tình yêu tới, em có nghe hồn thu nói mình yêu nhau nhé. Yeah. Thank you.
Flora, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, Dick. How does it feel when you sing?
So singing in front of people that I just met is a little bit nervous, but I feel so good when I'm singing.
Yeah, I can tell you were smiling, and even though there's no background music, but oh my God, I love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, can I have a question? Real question. Flora, can I? Or
oh, sure, go ahead. Dick.
okay, sorry, because I'm late today, so I don't know how the time agenda is like. So Cherry mentioned about having a new name from Tuha to Cherry, right? And I see that is a trend or a something that most people here do when they come to Canada or foreign country and they anglicize their name. So for Cherry or for anyone here, do you introduce your real Vietnamese name to all the foreign friends?
Only when they ask me. I actually already start my English name back when I was in Vietnam, but I wasn't had that much chance to use it because in Vietnam we just call each other by Vietnamese name. But I already have it back then, and when I came here, it just got used more often. Sometimes my friend ask me to help them to pronounce the last name, but first name only if they ask.
Okay. Yeah. And do you intend to use your Vietnamese name in any scenarios in Canada, or no, you would just stick to Cherry all the time?
With my Vietnamese friend, they know my Vietnamese name. So usually for Vietnamese people, we communicate with Vietnamese name, but for foreigners and my international friends, they call me by Cherry.
I see. Okay. And how about you, Chloe?
So you want to listen to the story behind my name?
Sure.
There is no big story. So when I first come here, my English name is Jamie because it's kind of rhyme with Chammy, somehow. All of my Vietnamese friends calling me. Yeah, and I also force my close Canadian friends to call me as well.
Oh.
And sometimes they forgot it. Yep. So, and then after 2 years of being Jamie, I got a lot of experience that changing who I am. And I decide just 1 year ago that I'm gonna take a new name as Chloe. And that's it. Yeah.
Do you feel reluctant or a bit shy to ask for your foreign friends to pronounce your name as Chami?
Oh, no, not at all. It's just a little bit, it just got me sad a little bit, because they always forget my new name, my Vietnamese name somehow. Yeah.
that's just a question from my side, because as you can see, most of us here have a English name. So I'm just curious, when people ask me, Duke, why don't you change your name to something English size, to anglicize stuff? And I think that personally, when I see other Indian friends, they don't change their Indian names to English names. So why should I? And the second thing is for me, that if I can fight for my name, or if I got the courage for others to call me Duke, not Duck, um, that is a huge step for confidence for me. So I know I'm a minority in this conversation, because I know most of my friends, they have their English name, they like it that way. It's for them, it felt more fit in. So yeah, just curious to see others' perspective, because in my workplace, my vice president called me Duck in front of 200 people in the first introduction, and I smiled a little bit, and then I embarrassed him in front of everyone for a bit. So that's one of my first, not my first, but one of my most memorable about my name, is that it's good for me to fight for my own name and have my stance in front of others, saying that, hey, I'm Đức, and this is my real Vietnamese name, and you should be aware of that. It's not that. So yeah, just questions from me. That's all. Thank you for your presentations.
Thank you, Dick.
Back to you, Flora.
You get me?
Or anyone wants to comment about naming conventions and all that stuff.
Yeah, Ashley.
Yeah, I can say. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I can tell a little bit about the reason why I changed my name too. Back there, after I finished school, and I tried to send out my resume to everywhere using my Vietnamese name. I honestly didn't get a lot of call. And when I changed my name to Ethan, well, my Vietnamese name is Than, and then people have a really hard time to either say a Tan or then, so I put an E on in front of it and become Ethan. And surprisingly, I got called with the same resume, just changed the name. So I did see that. And then it's just that subliminal message telling people that, okay, this guy, my trying to blending, right? And then, with Ethan, it's easier for people to remember my name as well, easier for them to pronounce my name. So that is the only reason why I changed my name. And recently with the Asian hate and trying to fight the Asian heritage in people, I feel a little bit ashamed of like why I changed my name. But it's just now Ethan is already a part of me. I feel connected to it. I respond to Ethan. If somebody call me Ethan right now, probably I won't. So I feel that it is a part of me now, and I won't change that. Just personally, back over to Sherry presentation, I just want to say a little bit because I really like to your presentation as well. Your vibe is completely different with Chloe. It's Chloe is more of presenting herself, being confident and professional, sharing a story. Yours like chill and just telling a story in a less formal setting, and I really like it as well because you have that vibe to tell the story that way that people can still follow it really well and really see the story and feel connected to it. The other thing that I really like about your presentation is you use a lot of like idioms like kids in the candy shop, turning over the new leaf, step out of the comfort zone. Those like make it natural, and I feel so good just listen to those kind of words, and that's something that I really want to take for myself as well, like trying to use more of that, making more myself when I talk to people. It's cool. It sounds more Canadian. Somehow that's just my personal feeling, but I really like that part of your presentation as well. And piggyback on one thing that Flora said at the beginning, like nobody is perfect here. There's always something that we need to learn, and that is exactly the reason why we are here. Like some of us like myself didn't have a really good accent. I don't have a lot of vocabulary. My pronunciation is not good, but that is exactly why I'm here, because I'm gonna make my presentation probably a couple weeks from now, and I really want everybody to give my feedback as well. And everybody I'm here to learn, and I'm here to expose my vulnerable side of myself so that people can give me feedback and I can improve myself as well. Just for other people who are new to the club, Chloe and Cherry, I have to say that you have really good English. Not everybody do. So if your English is not that good, it's not a big deal. Here is the safe zone for everybody to speak up, no matter how good or how bad your English is. Like, this is your chance, because if you don't practice this here, when you go out there and you have to make your presentation, chances are you're not gonna like it, right? So this is your stage, you know, go on it. If you think that your English is not good, it's not correct though. But like, you know, this is the chance, practice it, speak up, and then we will help you to improve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ethan. So now I would like to do a round table. So we'll force everyone to talk a little bit about themselves for 1 or 2 minutes. Start with Ji Hua.
Yes. I'm first.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is, sorry, give me a second. Sorry, it's noisy around me. My name is Nguyen. I'm a new grad in business accounting and in looking for job periods. Because I know everybody participates in this event. One is help other people to improve their speaking ability, and other side is improve their skill. I want to start with my English level. I come here 4.5 years ago with my English level is not enough to open a bank account by myself. My friend have to come to help me to every doing every paperwork for the newcomer. And after that, I did some job, but most of them are in Vietnamese speaking environment. So I really want to have one day I can speak English naturally. I didn't expect as a native because I know my pronunciation. So I just want to improve my English as naturally. I don't have to spend time to translate in my mind and find words to how to express in English. So at that time, I have a time to learn French and Chinese. That's the language I want to learn. My story, I think, is a very normal. I didn't find any special thing to say because I would like to say something about the presentation of the Chloe and Cherry today. After hearing the Chloe presentation, it made me think about my past. To be honest, I have a little regret about my my young when I was my time on the job. I didn't lie, but the condition, the living condition forced me to do that. So I think that is happy for the people can do the job they like. And if you can, I think you should try your best to find a job you love. You have the ambition to do it, because when you at my age, if you didn't do what you like, absolutely you will regret it. So about the Cherry's presentation, as a parent, when I listened to her presentation, I I always think about the Cherry's parent. I believe that the Cherry's parent must be very proud of you, and I wish that in next some years, my daughter can become the self-confident and very very good as you. Thank you, Cherry and Chloe, for your presence today. Yes.
Thank you.
It's my present.
No, I was noticed that your eye was red, but I didn't ask because I was like, oh, maybe this something happened, because I know when Chloe was speaking and you show your emotion, but I wasn't sure that was the moment that you were speaking about. The drinks
Thank you.
Great.
Yeah, thank you for Chloe. After for Flora, you always encourage me. I like talking with you so much. Thank you.
No, you inspire us so much because I know, as I share with the group, I know you guys form the mentorships, and I inspire everything that everybody here is doing, and the courage that you take. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How about Minh Huệ? Would you like to make a comment? You've been smiling a lot.
Hi everyone. Firstly, it's my pleasure to join that speaking club. It is the first time I joined that club, and I wish that I know that club earlier than. Yeah. I am like you. I am introverted person, so I'm not very feel self-confident when speaking in in front of many people like here. So I'm always feel about a bit of nervous, and I'm very proud of to. I have an impressive with presentation of Chloe and Cherry, because I feel something like both of them are young and dynamic and energetic, and something they are something like people I used to dream to be when I at the same age. But and for myself, I arrived Toronto in last December. And now I'm studying at Centennial College. And before arriving here, worked for years in the insurance industry. And now after graduation, I went find a job in insurance market. And I'm now on process, because I want. Yeah, and I hope that next time I can share my idea more clearer, because that activity is not familiar with me, and I feel I'm not express my idea very clearly and easy for all of you to understand. Yeah, thank you.
Just so you know that we totally understand what you're trying to say, and we really appreciate that you spend your time like sharing your story with us. And yeah, it's really brave of you to speak up, and we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
Your speaker, Flor.
Yes, again, I have a microphone and there's a mute button because I'm lazy to click on the screen. But Minh Huệ, thank you for sharing. You were here since December. That's impressive. And like San said, we understand everything, just like what Jihua was trying to put her thoughts together and try to convey the message to us. And we understand. And that's why we're here, to give you the confidence and put your thoughts together, and then, say what you need to say in the second language. And it's hard, it's very hard. It's not that easy. Ask Adam to speak Vietnamese. He can't. We've been together for like 13 years, and I never get him to say a Vietnamese word. So you have to be proud of yourself.
Or the food. I don't like the food.
It's okay. How about QVB? Thank you, Minhe, for sharing your story. QBV, would you like to unmute and introduce yourself? How about we move on to Nguyen?
Hi, hello everyone. I'm New. I'm a news graduate, so I just complete the postgraduate certificate in advanced professional accounting. So very happy to be here today, and Cherry and Chloe, yeah, did a good job in their presentation. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining events. If if everybody that don't have the camera on, next time we encourage you to put the camera on. Don't be shy. As much as it sucks, we cannot be physically interact with each other. At least we can see familiar faces, right? And everybody love a smile. How about Whitney? I know you're one of the mentor of the program as well.
Hello, everyone. So it's my pleasure to join this session. Presentation, Loy and Jerry, I enjoyed them a lot. So today I would like to share a little bit about my English name and my Vietnamese name. So I may have some similar stories as you have. So when I first arrived in Canada, on the very first day, one of my friends told me that I should choose an English name right away because it's easier for people to pronounce my name and it is easier for me to get a job. And then when I went to a store and I bought a coffee at Starbucks, and they asked me, "Hey, what's your name?" And I told them my Vietnamese and then they couldn't write it down. So I suddenly chose an English name at that time right away. So I chose Winnie. And even I told them Winnie, but they wrote down Whitney. So eventually I chose that name. And some people said that when you have an English name, you have better chances to get interviews. And it happens to me too. I got a lot of interviews. However, the job that I currently have, so I actually used my Vietnamese name. So I applied a lot as Whitney Hu, and I got a lot of interviews, but I didn't land a job offer. And when I used my Vietnamese name, Nguyen Hu, and I successfully got a job. So it's just a little bit different. So I just share with you like as a story. So I do believe that discrimination or whatever, it happens. And that's why a lot of us have to choose an English name. And Luke also share about his experience with his Indian friends. And so most of Indian people that I met, they use their name. So they don't actually choose any English name or whatever, and they are proud of their name. So I just wanted to share a little bit about my perspective. Maybe it's not true. And some employers, they do consider immigrants and people with international educational background. So that's it.
Thank you, Whitney. Nice to see you. How about Kim? Hi, Kim. Okay. Tien, I know you're with us the other session as well. Tien?
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So just a real quick, a brief abbreviation about me is, so I'm Tian, recently graduated from Harvard College at marketing major, and I'm really interested in finance personal development and some sports. Otherwise, well, I mean, like, otherwise, I found story in this speaker club is really inspired and interesting. So that's it. Oh, before I want to ask Adam, like, do you sell your toys, your models, or something?
I will be. I will be. Yeah.
Because I remember like the first day you talked, like you make these things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought you sell it.
Yeah, I will be. I'm just trying to. I'm actually, my garage is essentially done. So that's where I've been moving all of my equipment and tools and everything in there. So getting in there in the next week or so. So yeah, like, you know, toys and things, props, you know, we've been doing a Mandalorian suit, you know, full-size suit you can wear, cosplay, that kind of stuff. So yeah, anything you can think of, I can make.
For sure. Oh, can I check your like Instagram to see like how it's look like?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can send you a link later.
No, can you like tell me now? I can check it right now.
I'll write it in the comments, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, if everybody on the calls, I know if you listened to Adam's story before, he used to be he used to be in music industry, a retail manager, worked for CIBC for over 10 years, and now following his passion, the word that he hates a lot. Let's go with Anna. You joined a little bit late, but would you like to talk a little bit about yourself, Anna, and introduce yourself to us? Okay, everybody's too shy, and then Sam.
Oh, for me again. My name is Sean. I'm a logistics coordinator in London area. I chose supply chains as my career when I come to Canada, and it was a pleasure for me to work as a new career right now. So I enjoy every day of my work, even though it's just like on my food all day. So I do some kind of physical activities basically all day, which I never experienced before back in the job in Vietnam. And for me, talking about sharing the using your English name or Vietnamese name in some kind of things, I don't know. For me, I'm kind of like bitchy, I guess. So when you require me to pronounce your name correctly, so I expect something in return. I want you to pronounce my name correctly too. And when people said about discrimination in the job that you apply for, if you thought about, for me, just my thought, if you thought about your HR or whatever the people in the company thinking the same about discrimination, about the CV that they scan in for your name, and they think that you are an international student and you're not a good fit for the job, so this is not a job for you as well. Because like if they have the thought in their mind, so it's gonna be like that for the rest of their your day at their facility too. So for me, I proudly say my name. So my name is Sean, and go there and I talk to them. Hey, my name is Sean, and if you don't want to, if you want to pronounce it correctly, I can show you how to pronounce it correctly. But for me, probably lucky, my name is easy. It sound a little bit more easier for them to pronounce, so they don't have trouble pronouncing my names like duck or whatever. Like they said, pronounced to duck. I don't know, but for me, but I want people to pronounce my name correctly. And if the company value the people that they hire for or whatever it is, so is the company worth for me to spend my time, my invest to the company too. Yeah, so that's my story about the name stuff. So I hope everybody feel the same too, because we have to, so our parents give our names for a reason, right? So just use our name. Yeah, just my thought.
And you again, thank you for sharing. I actually, it's funny when Cherry presented her presentation, and there's one thing pops in my head that, why Cherry? Do you mind if I ask?
Hi, for sure. It actually is very random one. Back when I was young, so my mom has a perfume bottles. It's Miss Dior Choki. It's a French name, so it's pronounced. So sorry, it's a French word. So it's spelled CHERIE. So I still like the way it is, but no one can write that way, so they always like refer back to Cherry. So I was, yeah, sure, I'll take Cherry. But sure, it starts from the word Choki. It's like a darling in French.
Wow, amazing.
It's just a very random one. It's just from a label from a perfume bottle.
Oh, cool. It's funny. I was, I was like, I think from, I don't know about your guys' experience. I didn't even think about the English name, but I think for myself, it's a two lifestyle. So I have the lifestyle that my parents gave me with my Vietnamese name. And now I have a lifestyle that I desire for myself. Hence, I have a new identity with Flora. And that's how I always looked at it. It's either Vietnamese or English. People always ask me my Vietnamese name, which nobody can pronounce it properly. And Adam call me Pung all the time. I'm not a Pung. And somebody
that's a joke. I don't actually do that. That's just a joke.
And people think that I'm a guy as well when they look at my Vietnamese name, because my name is very unisex. But the bank call me Mr. all the time.
Yeah, so she's Mr. Pung.
Thank you. But I think that that's, I think in the Canadian culture as well, when you pick your kid name, you make sure that the name bribe, and then the kids won't get picked up in school and making fun of, like just like how Doug experienced with his VP experience. And I wanted to share with you, Doug, Fireman asked me how to pronounce your name properly, that won't offend him yourself. But I think the most thing, my experience with the Indian friend as well, that when I try to pronounce their name, I have to be very careful and ask them if that's the right way to pronounce the name. And I notice I don't have English name, but I think it's the culture mentality also, from what I have observed.
Yeah, and sorry, I know we're running out of time, but it's a good topic, and I'm glad I bring this up. Because it is true that when you have an English name, your chance of getting the job will be increased significantly. That's true. One can say it's cultural, one can say it's cyber racism, whatever, but at the end of the day, you want the job. And not because they refuse you because of the name, they're bad people, because because when your resume comes, it's HR and then the manager, and there's so many steps behind, right? So if the HR doesn't accept your resume, doesn't mean that the whole company is bad, kind of thing. Yeah, thank you, San. Before you go, please fill in the survey that I put in the link. I put in the comment section. It's 2 minutes that it will help us to know what to do in the future sessions. Yeah, where was I? And so to me, using my Vietnamese name, it's less of a cultural thing, but more about feeling more confident, It's the first step to feel more confident in the workplace, with friends, with fitting in, because at the end of the day, Canada is very diverse. They all accept other people. So if it's okay for you to be more authentic Vietnamese than usual. Right? So yeah.
I still like pho. Okay, guys, we've run out of time. Thank you so much for joining the sessions, and I cannot wait for all of the participants today to speak up, and have a lovely Sunday. For the rest of the panelists, we can stay a little bit behind because we have something to discuss, and feel free to drop. And thank you. Have a great weekend, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Guys.
everyone.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.
You too, Chị.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Ethan.
Have a nice weekend, guys.
Bye, Chloe. Bye, Sherry.
Bye.
I'm not using GoPro, I'm using Natsu.
Okay.